We're back here for our final feature match for week one of Playground League. We got Jacob B here up against, I'd call him a veteran at this point, Joaquin, who's been with us for quite a while here on the server. What's going on in his hand over there?
Big green things and
Okay.
Abyssal lands. Basically, he's got Careful Cultivation, which I think you can make a 1/1 monk if you channel it for 2.
Yeah, it makes a
You
mana
have,
dork. Yeah.
you have Jewel Thief, and then he has some pretty good beaters in Witherbloom Pledge Mage, Harmonious Emergence, and Burly Breaker.
Okay, so not sure exactly what Jacob's deck is yet. He has all Esper lands. Unfortunately, didn't mulligan because his colors were off in the first land, in the first hand. Like he had spells and lands, but they didn't match up. He has three more lands in hand. And then he has what appears to be a 7-drop in his deck. It's called the Iron Craw Crusher. It's one of the prototype cards. It was an uncommon, so you could play for two
Yeah,
green green or for seven. But it looks like the two green green is more or less off the table here. But he does have six of the seven lands required because the rest of his hand is Island Swamp. So Harmonious
okay.
Emergence was like a bit of a beating, but usually you wanted to play it to attack immediately. That was the best use of that card. But it'll start attacking now. Another
Yeah,
land
he
here for
has,
Jacob. So Jacob is very much risking, he's at risk of falling behind here.
yeah, Joaquin what was missing a land here, but he top decked the Forest, which allows him to play a Burly Breaker now, because the land he attacked with just had Vigilance.
Well, oh yeah, that one's quite the monster, and that's gonna flip immediately because the eighth land has come off the top here.
Oh,
So
yeah,
this
this
game
card
is,
this card always usually died immediately
I mean, it
because
did have
Ward one,
ward, but
yeah,
yeah,
Ward 1 wasn't that much, but when it flips, it has Ward 3, I believe. So it's actually quite hard to kill on the backside,
yeah, the removal was pretty
especially with
good
8/7.
in Midnight Hunt. I would say in Chaos, the removal is probably going to be like worse on average than it was in Midnight Hunt. But yeah, he's just going to soak up damage here, give himself maybe a shot to draw out of this. But yeah, he only has a 7-drop in hand, but he's not going to make it to he's not going to make it to turn seven
Yeah,
here. Yeah, a Leech Gauntlet is not going to do it.
yeah. Well, this is kind of the green dream scenario, right? You got your ramp and you got your big stuff. Sometimes you have one or the other, and you can't play the game really that well. But this time, it just kind of all fell into place.
Yeah, not yeah. I mean, Jacob, he mulligan, he kept a hand with a couple things to do in the beginning of the game, but then just drew lands for about 3 or 4 turns straight. This Leech Gauntlet, I guess technically, if it doesn't die, it'll keep him alive here. But
He doesn't have removal. He has drawn only creatures. Notably, he never had to play Jewel Thief because why would he? He just plays bigger
you
things.
just skip right over it with his ramp here. Yeah, Repel the
Yeah,
Vile can destroy one of these creatures, but that is not going to do it. Yeah, so nothing to report here. Wish we had more to say about this game, but that's how it goes sometimes. Jacob's gonna regroup now. Yeah, so he's an Esper deck. I guess he's just playing that like to make playables, like just
yeah.
the Iron Claw Crusher. Yeah, his mana base is 9, 7, 7, and an Uncharted Haven. So I mean, he got all those colors there and then some because he drew like 8 lands. But yeah, I mean
Yep.
this is week one mana basis.
Joaquin, he saw his opponent didn't play much, so he said the sideboarding process should be easy and just went in.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't Jacob didn't do too much either, so I didn't get a great look at what some of his top cards are. I just saw the mana base and we moved on. What's Joaquin working with here this time around?
Well, he had to mulligan. He had only a one
Yeah.
lander, but now with his hand, he kept a hand of only green, and his two draws of this game have been quite excellent. He's found white and he's found a Jewel Thief, so he'll be able to actually cast his three color combination of cards.
Okay. Well, here comes a cut down, which Seems like it wouldn't really have targets past this Timberland guide.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we're missing white
Ooh,
mana here uh, for Jacob. He does have a Gix's command in his hand, which is quite the potential catch-up card here. And he does have this
yes.
Toll Use, which he could play right away here for. Yeah, so this is sort of like the Evelyn that somebody had in their deck in the last round, where you could pay
Yeah.
blue and then a combination of blue or white, and then blue or black. So in this case, he was able to play blue, blue, black, and he drew a plains. So he's got a Reckoner Shakedown, which I believe is you get to look at your opponent's hand and take something out of it.
Okay.
And he's got a Knight of Dawn's Light, which is the 2 drop from Dominaria United. Lets you
Okay. Okay.
gain an additional life. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's
So
not out of
Joaquin,
it.
he's
Gix is
found
yeah,
he's found his ramp.
okay.
Joaquin has found his ramp in Cultivate, and he now has two big things he could play. He could play Burly Breaker or a Leyline Invocation.
Okay, I mean Gix's command works well against one large creature and or a bunch of small ones, but it doesn't work the best against two large creatures. But we'll see what happens here. So he got his Hallow Respite back in his hand, which I believe is just like a sorcery blink with Flash Black.
Okay.
Yeah. Exile target non-legendary creature that returns to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a +1 counter on it. Otherwise, tap it.
So here comes the Burly Breaker. So his command could get back creatures from graveyard, right?
The Gix's command, he can get back, I believe, two to the hand.
Okay.
And so he's going to Reckoner Shakedown here. I mean, he says I can take 6, I guess. Well, he doesn't like to see, well, I mean, I guess taking the Leyline Invocation means that once he gets rid of this 6/5, Joaquin has to top deck some threats here. Not that Jacob
Yeah.
has
He
the threats.
he hasn't top decked a amazing card, but it is a creature nonetheless. It's the Burrowing Razor Maw.
I mean, it attacks, it blocks, I guess. Is that a
Yeah.
4/2 that mills 3 when it comes in?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm honestly kind of surprised he didn't want to take the Cultivate. The Cultivate lets him get his black mana to play foul play, and it also like gets him the lands to be able to play his Leyline Invocation.
Yeah, I think with only one answer, actually, he does have an answer to the. I think the Hallowed Respite can blink opponent's creatures, right? And would be able to blink the token. But
I don't know. I haven't played with this card too much,
yeah, but
but this is Gix's command is going to be a beating.
he's also drawn a Baleful Mastery here, which is just a 4 mana exile a creature, or if he wants to give his opponent a card, he can pay 2.
Okay.
So he's got answers
Joaquin
here,
has
and
drawn his own.
he's got things to do.
Yeah, Joaquin has drawn his own removal and Overwhelming Remorse.
Oh, when it dies, mill 4. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. All right, so here comes the conductor again here, and now he's drawing some creatures. He's drawn a Argivian Cavalier, which is the 3 mana 2/2 enlist, um, and he's drawn a Revel Runer, which is a 4 mana 3/1 Connive Menace, if I recall. Yeah, so
I love the Argavian Cavalier.
that was a nice
Just
draw.
a solid creature.
Yeah, enlist again is like sort of just like a very forgettable mechanic. It just was. It didn't really shine. It wasn't really an aggressive set, but I mean, this one just plays nice because it gives you the body to pump it at least.
I think a big problem with enlist was that you couldn't enlist with creatures that just came in unless they had haste. Like the creatures had to be able to like attack basically. So you have to like stop them from attacking to power up the creature, and it just felt
Yeah,
very awkward at times.
yeah, and it was weird because we're sort of used to like these mechanics that can tap creatures, but they could tap them when they came in that turn. So like convoke, crewing, saddling, all that, like all of that, your creature
Yeah.
can just yeah. So we're sort of used to it. It almost just felt weird in a way that it didn't do that. But
Yep.
yeah, it looks like he's going to attack for 3 here and potentially force a trade or offer it, I
I
believe it
feel like
is.
the trade. I feel like the trade might just happen. Like he has a creature in hand to be able to double block Revel Ruiner, but it's only a 2/2, so it would be a 2 for 1 in that case.
Yeah, well, the 4/2 is not
And it's
blocking
not
these
very
other
good against
creatures.
First Strike.
Yeah, it's not blocking these other
Yeah,
creatures. So like, you can't attack right now, and the blocks. Its only good block is the Cavalier. All right, well, this was a card that we played sometimes.
sometimes you just need 2 drops. You play a 3/2 that hurts yourself.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
at least
mean,
it's better than the red. Who we got in red sometimes back in the day.
oh, jeez, yeah, yeah. I imagine that's a card he'll be unless he's looking to play like an aggressive two color deck. Tox Abomination would be one of my first cards on the chopping block, but I feel like they could have made it a 3/3 at common. I don't feel like that's
Yeah,
too powerful. Like especially in DMU, there was like lightning strike in that set. So,
yeah.
but either way, we are. He's gonna loot away his Union of the Third Path. Is that like draw a card then gain a life for every card in your hand? Is that what that was?
Sure is.
Okay, don't see that one too often, but he decided he'd rather have his two removal spells here, his Baleful Mastery and his Extinguish the Light, and I think one of them is going to get pointed at this bird more or less immediately.
I think it should be done before it goes to combat because that way the Razor Monster can just get a free attack.
Well, it looks like he's going to destroy both of them. Here we. So he didn't matter. He said the order doesn't matter too much. I'm not taking damage.
Okay.
So, okay, well, here's a.
Oh, yeah.
Can he even kick that one?
He has a single Arcway commons in his deck.
Okay. Another removal off the top here, Wanderer's Intervention. So this modern age just drew him into some good stuff to do here. Yeah, so this attack, he does have the Wanderer's Intervention here to mess up any potential blocks that Joaquin may find favorable.
Yeah, the good thing about this is that technically you could just double block the level runner, and it would just be a 2 for 2 in the end.
Yeah, all right. So he says, let me do that and get you to 7. And yeah, this is now 3, and this is pretty much churning along here for Jacob. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what he could have,
He
but
almost misclicked the the casting for the Baleful Mastery.
okay. Yep.
Though I will say I did cast
And with the
Baleful
line drawn,
Mastery in Commander for the first time the other day and realized that it's not the controller of the creature that you're targeting that draws the card. You could just give somebody else the card.
neat.
Yeah, it just says an opponent draws a card. So anyway, like for limited, we just assume okay, well, we're killing their creature and they get the card, but for our purposes,
Yeah.
that's what it does. But it does slightly more than that elsewhere. No sideboarding, no even thought of sideboarding here. Just submitted the deck immediately. He was, I mean, week one you don't really have a sideboard most of the time. Like there's not that much you could bring in unless you're
Yeah.
changing colors.
Joaquin basically just gave the courtesy look over of his sideboard to see if anything was worth it. I did see a high speed hover bike, which is just kind of generically just a good card.
Oh, in the sideboard.
Yes.
I mean, that's got to be better than a Vine
Uh,
Shaper Prodigy, right? That can't be kicked very easily. So, what's going on
I would think
for
so.
Joaquin this game? Because we got a very nice 2 drop over here for Jacob.
Oh, that was really good 2 drop. Well, he Joaquin has foul play, so he could answer it, but he also just drew a Jewel Thief, so he has options
Hmm.
here. Does he want to play out the Jewel Thief, or do he want to kill the Selfless Samurai?
I
And the
think,
answer looks like he wants to kill the Selfless Samurai.
I mean, Jewel Thief is a good play. I mean, the life link can be annoying here if Jacob has a removal, but I mean, I don't think it's that important to get that off the board. But I guess it does mess up things later when you actually want to destroy something. You
Yeah.
can't because of the samurai. So even though the samurai only affects warriors or samurais with its attack trigger, it can sacrifice to give anything indestructible,
Yeah, and
which
I
is a
think
little unintuitive, but
yeah,
it can do that. All right.
I think otherwise it's because like if he has another creature, he could just sack his Samurai and he wouldn't be able to investigate with the foul play. So maybe he just wants to get the value before he's not unable to.
So if I remember how this brackish trudge works, when you gain life, you can bring it back to your hand by paying mana from your graveyard. I believe
I believe.
that
Yeah.
comes into play tapped. Not a card that was
Yep.
played too much. The black green life gain deck in Strixhaven wasn't one of the better ones.
Yeah, I don't think this bracket strat is going to prove too much of a problem just because Joaquin is holding 3 exile removal.
Three exile removal.
He's
Well, yeah, we got some exile removal of our own over here with a Baleful Mastery again,
Yeah,
and we have a Revel
so he's about
Ruiner,
to
so that's
cast.
the menace creature that we saw last game.
So
Oh, that's a
yeah,
good
here
one.
comes the first one in Rise of Exodus. He has a choice of pest summoning, expanded anatomy, and environmental sciences. I think he might take the pest summoning. He has just no creatures in hand yet. He only has Eaten Alive and Overwhelming Remorse, and the pests also do provide a sack fodder for Eaten Alive should that come up.
Oh, he's drawn my boy here, the search party captain.
Ooh,
That's a nice one.
good
So,
value.
I mean, he'll play the Runer here just because it's a better attacker, but search party will come down next turn, and he'll be searching for the Revel Runer that might get exiled now.
I it could not happen just because pest summoning just makes 2/1/1s. It's kind of just a clean answer to level ruiner without having to actually use your actual removal.
Yeah, that works. I mean, we saw Pest Summoning do a lot of work earlier today,
Yes, yeah.
just keeping him alive long enough to try and turn the game around. Well, here he is, 4 mana 2/2, all its glory. He's drawn a Wing Shield agent, which I believe gives something flying when it attacks. Uh, it
And also
itself
shield counter, yes.
it itself does not have flying, but it grants flying on attacks, which is strange because usually the
Yeah.
creatures that grant flying on attacks have flying, but this one just works on the wings, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Sends things in the air. So he has a writhing necromass here,
Okay.
which is the 5/5 death touch that costs reduced for creatures in graveyard,
Yep.
or a burly breaker. Once again.
All right. So a big creature coming down. They'll probably be the target for the Baleful Master here. Either one seems
Yeah,
good enough to target. More than good enough.
yeah,
Yeah. So notably, Jacob running out of cards here. He does have the Letter of Acceptance to draw a card at some point.
yeah. So he's just seeing which one he should play. He's hovered over both of them, and he's still weighing his options, which one he'd rather have removed.
Okay. So he said, "I'll take
Yeah, there's
I'll
this
take
one.
the five." I mean, he doesn't know for a fact there's a removal in hand, right?
Yes, but you could kind of assume that like if this one is gonna remove, then you could play the second one after. So it's kind of okay. You're not in that desperate position where you have to put out your better creature out.
I think yeah, you would give the menace flying and say if you want to trade off for a search party captain, go ahead.
You also could technically use a pest to get rid of the shield counter, but with the removal you have in hand, you don't really need to do that.
Yeah, shield counters. You can get around them in a lot of ways.
Capenna was particularly a bit harder. They were very tedious to work around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you did have like the workaround was like can't be countered. I believe like the spells
Yeah.
that could not be countered because like the it was weird that it worked that way. All right, we got the burly breaker coming down here, and that's definitely gonna have an impact on this board. And looks like we're gonna sacrifice a pest to exile a creature.
Here's where enlist seems particularly good, right? Argive Cavalier, he could instead just enlist the Revel Runner, and it's a 5/2, right? You have like really bad blocks against a 5/2 on this board. You
Yeah,
don't really
so
want to trade with your 6/5, and
so
you don't want to chump
he's
with a 1/1.
he's drawn Beaming Defiance, which is a pump spell. I know it gives +2/+2 and hexproof and possibly one other keyword. I don't know if it gives indestructible. I don't remember if it gives indestructible or not.
Okay.
Gains hexproof. Okay, it's just +2/+2 hexproof for two, so not indestructible, but yeah. So he can protect the creature, the a creature here. All right, here's the Deathbloom Gardener.
actually a pretty solid draw here. He actually gets to trade off with the Cavalier without having to really put anything else in danger.
Yeah, and then I mean, if Joaquin is able to stabilize and turn around, this 8-7 will win very quick. Right,
Yes.
so he's drawn a mostly medium card here, the Latinam Adept. Uh, when you draw your second card during each turn, it gets a +1 counter. Yeah, we've seen a lot of cards with that effect, and they're all like kind of just mediocre. But I mean, turn it into a 4/4. It's 4/5/5. It's worth the mana.
I'm kind of interested about this attack because it seems like to me at least, it seems what I would do is that I would put the Pest and the 8/7 for the Menace, and I put the Death Touch on the Argavin Cavalier. It,
Yeah,
uh,
so he can pretty easily play around a +2 pump spell.
yeah,
I don't know if there's a 2 mana +3 in white, but
okay,
he is looking to put him to 1 here, but I don't think it's going to work out.
yeah. And what this does is that it does bait out the removal, just like that. I mean, you don't really ever want to use this on a search party captain, but the fact that he did use another card makes it justifiable.
Yeah. Also, there's the I don't want to go to 1 strategy as well, which is
Well, you go to two,
valid.
right? Because the pest would die if he chose to kill it.
Yeah, I mean, he still doesn't want to get to that life total, right? So there's
Yeah,
value in just yeah. And Jacob acted first. He played his spell, and Joaquin had the answer. So what does he have in hand here exactly?
he has a vampire interloper, but then he just drew a very all-star card from Neo, which is what he's about to play right now.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh, that's you want a stabilizer? There you go. Yeah, this card
Yeah,
uh, we've never really before or after seen quite a card quite like this at Common, at least in white, or even
yeah.
really
I
like
mean,
in
we
any
have
color.
seen.
Like make 3/2/2s, and then scry
I
three.
mean, we've seen like kind of variances to it.
Scry 3 is so valuable late in the game. Like this is like like scrying early in the game is okay, but a lot of times you don't know what you want yet. But here, like, just wow. How was his scry there? We do have a counter spell that was drawn,
He
so
Yeah, he got rid of two pretty much useless cards at this
okay.
point in the game, and he put the Harmonious Emergence on top, which was, as you saw, got countered. Very good they had a counter spell because I don't think he could come back from a board state where he was getting attacked for like 12.
Yeah, well, the one who's not going to be able to come back now looks to be Jacob with this island off the top. So, uh, yeah, the handful of removal for Joaquin just worked out here. He stuck a threat, and it's
Yeah.
quite the threat.
Oh, he doesn't want to go for the lethal attack. Thinks that maybe losing two, like the 8/7 plus a 2/2 could be enough to swing it back in his favor.
Well, I mean, it was
But he
lethal
keep
though. It
Yeah, but I'm
was
saying on the case where he
lethal.
did draw removal, doesn't want to lose his 8/7 and a free 2/2 only to deal 6
That makes
damage,
sense.
where his opponent's at
He's drawn a
14.
sparring regimen, which I don't know if he has what kind of lessons. He's got a pest summoning. He's got necrotic fumes, which is like a bone splinter type deal.
Okay.
He's got, but the pest summoning seems to be that's the card that I believe can keep him alive. So that will probably be the one. It's the card that says
Of note,
I get to live.
Joaquin, he top decked the Diagraph Horde, so he did top deck another bullet of a card, but decided against playing it.
Interestingly, attacked here. Okay. What did he draw?
Diagraph Horde.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, every banger from like the sets previous.
Diagraph Horde again. Like still, I'd say would still stand up today. Like, why did that card make 2 tokens and exile cards from graveyard, which in that set was huge? Like,
Yes.
wild. Very very good. Yeah, but looks like this game is probably winding to its end here. Unless Jacob finds something that can handle all of these things. An Uncharted Haven will definitely not be it. So we see a pretty back and forth game, but Joaquin pulling it out here at the end, sticking his werewolf there, who got in most of the damage here. So congratulations to Joaquin on the win, and thanks for watching.